Here's another hugely popular one, guys. The 18th episode of the third series, All at Sea, written by Britt Allcroft and David Mitton. This is the first episode of the third series to have a story written entirely by Britt Allcroft and David Mitton with no inspiration from the Audrey family or Andrew Brenner. And it once again focuses on Duck the Great Western engine, fan favourite among the Thomas community. Percy and Duck enjoy working at the docks near the ocean, especially on a clear night. One summer morning, the two engines notice the horizon is packed with sails flapping against the sky. Duck tells Percy that he wishes he could sail to faraway lands, but Percy thinks it is silly since engines cannot float. Harold soon hovers and tells the two engines that the boats are competing in the regatta and that it is his job to hover around in case he is needed. Duck then asks Harold if he has ever been to the horizon, to which Harold says he has, and can also land on ships, aircraft carriers, anywhere at any time. Duck then goes on talking about the regatta for the rest of the day, leading Percy to lose patience and tells Ducks that their rails could take them to all the places they could ever wish to see. Suddenly, the harbour emergency siren goes off. A man taking place in the regatta has suffered a hand injury and Duck needs to take him to the hospital at the next station. Harold brings the man ashore and Duck quickly races over. Harold states that he would have taken the man to hospital himself, but he needs to stay at sea in case of other emergencies. Duck soon makes his way down the line and arrives at the station, where the grateful sailor is dropped off and Bertie prepares to take him to the hospital. Bertie then compliments Duck, saying that he looks splendid flying along the line, and it is no wonder that they call him Great Western. After Percy drives away, Duck then agrees with Percy that engines are happiest when their wheels are firmly on the rails. Later that night, Duck notices a shooting star as he and Percy are staying a bit longer at the warm and calm quay. Percy laughs and tells him that it is Harold hovering overhead. Something flutters down towards Duck and his driver manages to catch it. It is a flag from the regatta that Harold has given to Duck as a present, which Duck sees as kind of Harold, and he begins to understand just what an engine needs. At this point, Duck still dreams about travelling to the horizon, but knows that he will never be happier than when he is with his friends on Sodor, and understands now that sometimes the best travels are those that only exist in dreams. This episode is one of the most gorgeous ones I've ever seen, since it mostly takes place around the harbour. And as I mentioned before, I have childhood memories of going to Bristol Harbour and riding on the trains and looking at the boats. And like Henry's Forest, this one takes a character from the existing books and adds more to their personality. Mainly Duck, having him be a character that wishes that he could travel to faraway lands after watching all the boats on the regatta, dreaming about the lands beyond the horizon.
I wish I could sail to faraway lands, sighed Duck. Engines can't go sailing, snorted Percy, because engines can't float.
It just adds more to his character other than just being proud of being Great Western. And it shows that while just talking about your dreams for hours on end can become annoying to people, as it was shown with Duck and Percy, with Percy managing to bring Duck back down to earth when he loses patience with his bragging about the horizons and the regatta.
Well, Duck, I'd rather have my wheels on solid ground. Our rails can take us to all the places we could ever wish to see. Percy's right, Duck thought to himself. Engines are happiest when their wheels are firmly on the rails.
And when you look at all the scenes in the episode, they're just so gorgeously filmed. From the daytime scenes during the regatta to the nighttime scenes. And I'm one of those people who, while love steam trains, I also enjoy seeing the boats on the harbour as well. Especially the summer of this year when I went to the Dartmouth regatta with my parents. Having some fish and chips along the quay, watching all the boats have their races, and getting to see the Dartmouth Railway steam train go by every now and then. It's just such a wonderful sight to see all these fins when the regatta was taking place. And it's worth pointing out that the final shot of the episode is one of David Mitton's favourite in the entire series. He liked it so much that he framed a print of it and gave it to Britt Allcroft, who has also said this is one of her favourite episodes, alongside the first series episode Down the Mine. And during the memorial videos of David Mitton after he passed away, a lot of videos on YouTube have ended with this shot. And you can honestly understand why. Not just because it's one of Mitton's favourite scenes in the entire series, but also because it's so beautifully shot. Just that image of Thomas, Duck and Percy looking at the sunrise on the harbour is just such an amazing and beautiful scene. It's one of those moments that's well remembered for the TV series, even though it only lasts for about 10 seconds. It just shows you what great of a director David Mitton was and how he knew how to use the right angles with the cameras. And in a clever little reference to Percy's promise, when Harold drops the regatta flag down to duck, the same music and sound effect were used from that episode for this episode. And as I said, this episode was written by David and Britt without any inspiration from Brenner or the Audreys. And for an episode that was written by the two of them without any inspiration from other stories, this was really well written. Adding something more to Duck's personality, and just getting to see some of the beautiful sceneries at the harbour, especially when you see the regatta moments. It's just so beautifully written and shot. And the ending speech by the late Michelangelis is just one of the most charming and beautiful moments ever heard in the TV series. All in all Let's See is one of the most beautifully shot, beautifully written, and all around beautiful episodes of the TV series. It adds more layers to Duck's personality, it shows more of the harbour and introduces the regatta to the TV series, and it's just another one of those fun days in the life of Sodor episodes. It's an episode that's definitely worth checking out if you love the TV series. It's not to be missed.
Duck still wonders about the lands beyond the horizon, but he enjoys being with friends most of all, and I think he knows that sometimes the best travels are those we can only dream about. Don't you?